Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So tonight we're going to talk about the president's legal team and the argument they made in federal court. It's been in the headlines, but I'm not really sure that it's being discussed the way it should. At least not the way I think it should. In an attempt to stop his tax returns from being released, the president's lawyers made the argument that he is immune from all criminal liability. All. He can't be investigated. He can't be indicted. He can't be prosecuted. He can't be processed. Nothing. He has total immunity from all forms of criminal liability. That was the argument. And it wasn't just... The argument was so bizarre that even the judge wanted clarification and proposed the Fifth Avenue scenario. He shoots someone in the street and use that and ask the attorney. And the attorney's like, no, that's correct. He can't be prosecuted. Law enforcement cannot intervene, federal, state, or local. Can't intervene. You know, I don't like slippery slope arguments. And that's what this is going to sound like, but it's not. Because the argument made in federal court was that he could literally commit murder. That's pretty high up in our hierarchy of crimes. That's one of the bad ones. If he can do that and suffer no criminal liability, what's to stop him from shutting down voting stations in locations that oppose him, or engaging in massive voter fraud? What would stop him? There's no criminal liability. Nobody can investigate it. Well, certainly Congress would impeach, right? I guess so. Unless he has him imprisoned, or worse. Because no criminal liability. As long as he stays in power. Well, we'd get rid of him in 4 years. Would we? How can you guarantee that? There's no criminal liability. This argument that is being made is the legal argument to turn Trump into a dictator with absolute power. No checks, no balances. He can do whatever he wants. It's terrifying because that's not how it's being framed. It's being framed as this crazy argument that the president's lawyers made. And yeah, it is. But no man that would allow his lawyers to make that argument on his behalf should be in public office. These judges, whether they know it or not, are deciding the fate of the country. If they decide that yes, the president is completely immune from all criminal liability, that's it. It's over. No checks, no balances, absolute power. And that power will be abused. Trump becomes Tsar, and all men are slaves to the Tsar. That's the reality. And it's not a slippery slope argument. That's literally what they're arguing in court. In federal court, this is the argument that was made. We sit and listen as people try to say that there's a coup against the president. Meanwhile, he's attempting to gain the power to do whatever he wants with no legal ramifications. So there's your scary Halloween story. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good night.